the location tool works much the same as the instructor assignment tool. Again, you can assign a location. You can assign a location one period at a time by selecting that location and double-clicking in the location field where you want to make that assignment. And so we have that done. Again, great for making one of, but also not very convenient if you're wanting to assign multiple periods. So we've got the autofill locations tool for that purpose. We simply click on that, and the location I want to work with in this case is Parade Square. And we're going to look at level 1 for PO M108, which is drill. So obviously going to be done on the Parade Square. And we fill in that location. We get the completion message, close the form. And so for 108, then we see it's going to take place on the Parade Square. As I mentioned before, if we expected to have more than one class on a Parade Square at a time, we do have these alternate assignments we could use to avoid any conflict messages, which we'll be demonstrating in just a few minutes. Likewise then for 107, I'll just do an assignment for that. I'll use room 1, level 1, and 107. So we'll get a classroom assignment in here, and we'll fill that location in. That's been completed, and so there it is. If I need to replace a location, works exactly the same as it did with instructors. Just go back into autofill locations, select the location that you want to change. So I'm going to maybe end up with more than one class on the Parade Square at a time, so I want to use those alternate Parade Square locations that I have. And you select the appropriate filters and click Fill in Location. I got the completion message. I close the form, and now those classes are on Parade Square East. So if I have other classes and I want to use another area of the Parade Square, I can go and do that. In the same way, we can have conflicts with locations in the same way that we can with instructors. They show up exactly the same way by being red flagged. So if I took Parade Square East and I tried to assign it at the same time as it's already being used, I will get a red flag message immediately showing me that I've got a conflict. All I need to do is select another location and put it in over top. Just a few final scheduling notes. When you use the autofill tools, you will see any conflicts with regard to the displayed weeks immediately, but any conflicts that occur further down the schedule, you won't see them as immediately. And so a good practice to do once you've done your scheduling with regard to location and instructor assignments is just take a few minutes to double check schedules here. So here's the scheduling assignment for Sargent Square. If there was any conflicts throughout the year, I would see a red flag wherever that was, and I could click on it and get the detailed information. And you would just do a quick check for each instructor and find out where any conflicts are. Works exactly the same with regard to locations. Double click on the location and you will see any conflicts with regard to that location. It's also a great way of checking availability of either an instructor or a location for any particular time during your training year. Once you have your instructor assignments complete for your Year 5 cadets, you want to take a look at finishing off their individual scheduling. So you would right-click on an available period for a particular cadet. The first thing you should take a look for at this point after their instructor assignments is any mandatory classes that need to be picked back up that had to be unscheduled to accommodate an instructor assignment. And you would find where you want to schedule that, click on it, and it goes into their schedule and comes off of the EOs waiting to be scheduled for them. From there, you would go in and in their available time periods, select and schedule in their complementary training. Once their complementary required training was scheduled, you could then look at OJT assignments. OJT can be scheduled in advance, or it can be managed as you progress throughout the training year. I want to take a look quickly as we close off where this OJT assignment list is managed, and that's up here at the top on this Year 5 OJT list button. Simply click on that, and this is a list that is managed just like your locations and instructors list. And we've got some default types in here. Absent, so that if you know a particular Year 5 cadet is going to be absent on a particular night, you can put that in there, and you will know not to assign them to any period of instruction or other duty. Some very basic duty types that you might want to have in your OJT program: admin, supply, training, and this is where you would select their optional complementary training if they were going to do anything extra to their requirements. And you can add in other types here. If you had a particular project or what have you, you could add it in here. In our next video, we'll be looking at using the Dashboard Manager to manage your weekly training program.